Today, we're going to go under the hood of your bank account. We are going to follow the complete life cycle of your money to demystify one of the most critical, yet invisible, pieces of financial technology on the planet, the core banking system. So picture this. You're standing in line for coffee, you tap your card or your phone, and a second later, you're approved. It honestly feels like magic. But behind that simple tap is this massive, incredibly precise machine working in the background. And that machine, that's the bank's core banking system. The best way to think about it is as the central nervous system and the official memory for every single thing that happens with your money. It's the invisible engine that makes everything else possible. But before any of that can happen, before any money can move, before you can even tap to pay for that coffee, the system has to know exactly who you are. So our journey starts right here with the very carefully controlled process of opening an account.
It might feel like you're just filling out a quick online form, but behind the scenes, the system is running this very deliberate 5-step sequence. It all kicks off with your request. Then it creates a unique ID just for you. That's the customer master file. But then, crucially, it hits a gate, the KYC, or Know Your Customer and Anti-Money Laundering checks. It's only after you're cleared that the system actually generates your account number and finally flips the switch to activate it.
Okay, so here's the detailed blueprint of what's really going on. If you look at the top, you'll see that the main goal isn't just to open an account. It's to establish that single authoritative customer identity we were just talking about. Each of those 5 steps has a very specific job, from grabbing your details at the start to running those critical KYC checks in the middle. This whole sequence, it's the foundation for absolutely everything that comes next. It's all about ensuring compliance and data integrity from day one. All right, so our account is open, it's active. Now let's move on to the next stage and see how this system handles the constant daily flow of financial activity, the real pulse of banking. So money moves in 2 main ways, and this slide breaks them both down. Over on the left, you see the life cycle of a typical transaction, the one you start, like buying that coffee. It goes through authorization, it checks your balance, and eventually it gets posted. But on the right, we see a process the bank starts on its own, calculating interest. See how it's also a very structured process with daily accrual and then periodic posting? The big takeaway here is that the core system has to handle both types of events, yours and the bank's, with the exact same level of control and rigor. No exceptions. Now, at the very heart of every single transaction is this critical event called posting. This is the moment of truth. It's the point of no return. It's that exact instant when your intention to pay becomes a permanent, irreversible financial fact on the bank's books. Once a transaction is posted, it can never, ever be deleted. Okay, let's go back to that interest calculation for a second. You'd probably think it's just a simple percentage calculation, right? Just a basic math problem.
But it's not a math problem at all. It's a bookkeeping problem. And here's the really cool part. The system actually calculates the tiny bit of interest you've earned every single day. That's called accrual. But it only officially pays it into your account, or posts it, at the end of the month. This separation of earning from paying, it's absolutely fundamental to keeping the bank's books in perfect balance all the time.
And that brings us to maybe the most important job of the core banking system, maintaining absolute integrity. It's all about how it handles errors, how it communicates with you, and ultimately how it keeps the books totally honest. Here's a really powerful idea from the source material. A system like this isn't really tested when everything goes right. Its true strength, its real character, is revealed in how it handles failures, mistakes, and all the exceptions. So what happens when something does go wrong? Well, the golden rule is never, ever delete. Think about it. Deleting an error is like ripping a page out of a history book. It completely breaks the audit trail. The right way is to issue a reversal. A reversal is a brand new transaction that perfectly cancels out the mistake, creating this crystal clear, auditable story of what happened, why it was wrong, and exactly how it was fixed. And if you look at this diagram, you can see exactly how that works in practice. A transaction fails, and instead of just being erased, the system kicks off what's called reversal processing. It creates a brand new compensating journal entry. It's like writing a new line in the ledger that perfectly mirrors and cancels out the mistake. The debits and credits match up, the books stay balanced, and the whole story, the mistake and the fix, is preserved forever for auditors. That is what double entry integrity is all about.
Okay, so we've seen how individual transactions get created and, importantly, how they get corrected. But how do millions of these little daily events get turned into the bank's single official financial reality?
Well, the key to understanding this is knowing that the system actually keeps two different sets of books. You can think of the subledger as the bank's daily diary. It's messy, it's super detailed, and it records every single customer transaction as it happens. But then there's the general ledger, or GL. That is the bank's official audited history book. It only cares about the final summarized totals. And the magic is in the process that turns that messy diary into official history.
So, the big question is, how does all that daily chaos from millions of customer transactions in the subledger get transformed into the clean, verified financial truth of the general ledger? The answer is a critical, highly controlled process called end of day. And as this flowchart shows, it's a very strict sequence. First, there's a transaction cutoff. It's like the doors close on the business day, no more transactions. Then the system runs through its checklist. It finalizes all that interest we talked about. It applies any fees, and it aggregates all the data from the subledger. It's only after every single thing is checked and balanced that it finally generates the entries for the general ledger. It's not a continuous stream. It's a very disciplined closing of the books each and every day. And that brings us to what is really the core thesis of this entire explainer. Real-time systems, like your banking app, they show you operational balances. But it's the end-of-day processing that creates verified, auditable financial truth.
So why does all this complexity matter? I mean, why go through all this trouble? Well, it all boils down to one simple, powerful word: trust. And this is the ultimate payoff. This whole engine, this whole process, exists to create an unbreakable audit trail, which you can see flowing from left to right here. It all starts with that general ledger, which creates certified financial data. That data then flows out to regulators, to auditors, to the bank's own management. It ensures that every single number on an official report can be traced all the way back to a specific individual transaction. That traceability, that is the bedrock of trust in our entire financial system. You know, when you really boil it all down, the integrity of this incredible invisible engine rests on one simple, powerful rule: never delete, only correct. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other complex systems in our lives could be made a whole lot more trustworthy if they just adopted that exact same principle?